Right, so my last video, I talked about these basic rudiments using just 4 strings, and it was takadimi, takita, and taki. Watch that one if you need to. Today I'm going to talk about strumming basic meter using quarter notes, okay? And I'm going to use the idea of strumming 4 and 3 and 2. And the way you imply, one way to imply meter is by simply making one just a basic medium volume and then make the other beats softer. Now there's an actual secondary accent on beat 3, but we're not going to worry about that for now. I just want you to kind of just play things evenly. To make beat 1 louder, we're going to strum all the notes of the chord. So if I'm playing a rock G chord like this, all right, and I'm tuned down, so I have a capo. So anyway, this is the 3rd fret for me. So if I strum all of them on G on beat 1, then on beats 2, 3, and 4, I'm just going to strum the bottom 3 or 4 strings like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. The reason I started with 4-string strumming in the last video, it's just simpler to strum 4 strings on everything than to keep up with where the bass notes are and how many strings you're strumming. So once you kind of got some technique, you know, we are going to be strumming more strings. So anyway, strum 6 strings, all 6, if it's a 6-string chord like G or E minor, and then strum fewer on 2, 3, 4. And what you'll do is you'll develop an ear for 4, and you'll be able to hear 4 outside of the context of having to count. So you'll just learn to... and you'll learn to hear it like that. All right, so you can do the same thing with 3. So if I'm strumming something in 3/4 time, the most base level way to strum that in my mind is to strum quarter notes. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing except I'm not going to have a 4th beat. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now that's pretty slow for 3. Usually 3 is a little faster than that, but learn it slow. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now this is developing technique, first of all, and it's developing an ear for the meter. So you're learning to hear 3, but you're also learning beyond a specific strum pattern. You're learning the accent patterns. In this technique, you should be able to strum quarter notes and them sound good. You know, if this doesn't sound musical, there are reasons for that. It really doesn't sound musical because I'm strumming the same thing on everything. So kind of start to think about meter that way. If I was going to do 2, I would do the same thing. So that would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that one's more rare. I've just kind of, that just is rounding things off. So don't worry about 2 too much, but just kind of practice 4, 3, and 2, just being able to count them that way.